Hello, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to make this beautiful jacket. Okay, so stay till the end of the video. It's a full video. Okay, and if you're new here, you're highly welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. This is a full video, okay, from the pattern drafting to the shaping, so stay through to the video. All right, let's get started. Okay guys, in today's video we're going to learn how to sew a jacket. Okay, this is the fabric that I will be using. Okay, the fabric is not enough, so I'm trying to see if the way I can just manage this fabric. When you're sewing a kimono dress or a kimono jacket, when you're sewing a kimono jacket, it should be from 2 yards to maybe 4 yards, 3 yards, depending on how full and how free you want it to be. But the least amount of fabric that I use is 2 yards. Okay, but this one is 1.5 yards, so I want to see how I can manage it and to give my client that perfect design. Okay, so now this is how to start. This is your starting point. Okay, I'm just going to trim off this edge. Okay, this fabric is on two-fold. Okay, this is the positive side and this is the negative side, right? Okay, so this is the starting point. I'll first take the vertical measurement. What I need here is just the full length. Length is 35 inches plus 1 inch from hemming is going to be 36. So I'm going to mark 36 and square it across. So I'll mark 36. First off, I'm drafting the front panel, the back panel first. Okay, this is the back panel that I'm drafting. Okay, this is the back panel that I'm drafting. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, after you might have taken your full length, then you take your neckline. Okay, so the neckline here is, I'll mark 1 inch for the neckline, for the neck depth. Okay, then I'll mark 3 inches. I'll mark 3 inches for the neck width, the neckline. Okay, the width. So the shoulder is 8. That's the shoulder line is 16. 16 divided by 2 will give me 8. So I'll mark it right here. This is 8. Okay, so what the next thing I'm going to do is, from this point here, I'm going to take my armhole. The armhole is 17. 17 divided by 2 will give me 8.5. But I'll add extra. I'll come down. I'll make it 9 inches because it's going to be free. It's not going to be tight. This is a free jacket, a free kimono jacket. Okay, so I will just mark it as so and use my ruler to square it out. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the midpoint here, okay, and use my ruler, my curve ruler, to make the curve as so. Alright, then I'll come here and make the curve here for the neckline, which is the hip circumference. Okay. Okay, so now you're going to use the biggest part of your measurements. The bust circumference is 35.5, which is not the biggest part of the measurement. The biggest part of the measurement is 42. Okay, the biggest part of the measurement is 42. So 42 divided by 4 will give me 10.5 inches, right? 10.5. So this is 10.5 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance. Okay, so it will now give me 12.5, which is here. So it's this same 12.5 that you mark all the way to the hemming, all right, to the full length. Okay, this is 12.5. So you now connect as so and cut out. So the back panel is ready. The back panel is ready for this one. So this is it. This is it for, you can just make a little slant here. Okay. All right, so this is it, right? We'll use this one to draft the front panel. Okay, let's draft out the back panel, the front panel rather. So we'll use the back panel as so and place it this way. Place it on top of it. Okay, so now remember this place, this is where it stops, right? We have 2 inches extension. Okay, 1/4 extension for the for this front panel. So I'm just going to fold it in as so to draft out the neckline. Because I'm going to line it and I don't want the line, I just want this part to also show inside. Okay, I don't want the lining to start from the tip, so I'll fold it in as so to draft out the neckline, right? It's going to be 3 inches and it's a round neck. Okay, it's going to be 3 inches, by depth and 3 inches by width. Okay, so I'll use my curve ruler to connect it as so. So I'll go ahead to cut it. Remember, this is unfold, this is how I folded it, right? So I will go ahead to cut it this way. Then cut out the down part of it. So we'll remove the back panel. So when you bring out this one, it's going to look this way. It's going to be like this. You see how it is. Then we'll open it up. Remember, the front panel is going to have an opening in front. So we'll open it from the down part. Open it up as so. So this is it for the front, for the front panel. What I'm going to do here is going to draft out the sleeve and line it. Okay, so let's line it first before drafting out the sleeve. Okay, I'm done lining it. Okay, I'm done tracing out the lining. This is the front panel. Okay, so for this front panel, you know, the lining is going to start from here. The lining is not going to start from here.
Okay, and if you don't know how to cut out a basic sleeve, if you don't know how to draft a basic sleeve, I will send a link on that so that you can watch the video on how to draft a basic sleeve pattern.
The lining is 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. So let's go over to the sewing machine and sew it. This is my sleeve. Okay, this is the sleeve. I've already cut it out and the lining. Okay, we start sewing our dress. Okay, now we'll start with the back panel. This is the back panel, right? Then we'll start from the down part. Okay, let's start from the neckline. This is the neckline, right? And this is the positive side, this is the negative side. Okay, so your lining will face the positive side of your fabric. Okay, so the positive side of your fabric is facing the lining. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead to sew the neckline together as so. To notch. And top stitch towards the positive, top stitch towards the lining. So the next thing here is we'll go over to the down parts. Go over to the down parts and sew. So you sew this way.
So after sewing the
Okay,
both
after
sides, you
that,
turn it over
we'll
from
come
the
over to
armhole.
the
Okay, turn it
neckline
over
and
from
the
the armhole as
shoulder.
I'm doing
Okay.
so, and
make sure
the back
that we
panel is
dress
ready.
it.
Once you're done turning
Right.
it over,
Make sure
then you
that you
iron
dress
it.
it and it's aligned.
Okay, this
So
is the front
you're going
panel.
to
Go
sew
ahead
the
to
both
sew one
sides
piece of this
the
front panel.
dress,
Okay,
okay?
so
The side
your
seam
lining will
this
face
way,
the positive side of
and
the
we're going to
fabric.
sew this side.
Okay, here you start sewing
this
from the
side,
neckline, sew it
and sew
straight
this
down.
way. So
Okay, then now take the lining and match it to the other side seam. Okay, match it to the other side seam and use your pin to hold it, to secure it all the way. Then after securing it with your pin, you can now sew it to where the lining will end, right? And it will drag it. It will just drag it. Remember that the lining is not starting from the tip. That's why. So you just sew it all the way. Okay, you need to pay close attention to this part because it's somehow technical, okay, but it's very easy to understand if you calm down and follow through. So now once you've sewn it, you see that there will be essence at this part, right? So you're going to use your hand to dress it and stitch it, okay? Make a slant, just following the lines there, make a slant there and cut it off, okay? So once you cut it off, the next thing you're going to do is, so after sewing it, the next thing is to sew the neckline, okay, matching the shoulder lines, okay. After sewing the neckline, then now go over to sew the side seam, the other side seam. Remember, this is a neat finishing, okay. So you sew the side seam. So I'm done sewing the side seam. This is how it is looking, okay. Then the next thing is to turn it over from the armhole side. You turn it over from the armhole side. Then after that, make sure you iron it before you join the shoulders or before shaping, okay. So lay it flat. So you turn it over from the armhole side. See, the front panel is ready. Can you see how beautiful it is? Everything is aligned. They're of equal length. Okay, the next thing to do is to join the shoulders. The positive side of the back panel face the positive side of the front panel. So this is how to join the shoulder. You join the shoulders of both shoulders. All right. So after that, we'll fix the sleeve. Okay, we'll fix the sleeve after joining the shoulder. So this is the sleeve, okay. You notch the midpoint, then use your pin to hold it round as I've done so, then sew it. All right, fix your sleeve. So the next thing here is to shape it. After fixing your sleeve, shape the both sides and our jacket is ready.